Transformation doesn't announce itself with thunder. It whispers in the quiet moments when you choose to stand instead of fall. It lives in the space between who you were yesterday and who you refuse to be tomorrow. Marcus Aurelius once said, "You have power over your mind, not outside events. Realize this, and you will find strength." These words carry a truth that cuts through time itself. The power to change, to evolve, to become someone entirely new exists within you right now. Not tomorrow, not when circumstances align. Right now, look at your reflection. That person staring back holds the potential for complete transformation. But here's the reality most people miss. Becoming unrecognizable isn't about changing your face or your wardrobe. It's about rebuilding the foundation of who you are from the ground up. It's about shifting the way you think, act, and respond to life itself. The world celebrates overnight success stories, but nobody talks about the silent battles fought in solitude. The early mornings when your body begs for more sleep, but your spirit demands growth. The moments when everyone around you stays comfortable, yet you push into discomfort because you know that's where evolution lives. Becoming unrecognizable means outgrowing the version of yourself that settled for less. It means looking at your past patterns and saying, "That's not me anymore." It demands that you strip away the layers of excuses, fear, and self-doubt that have kept you small. The Stoics understood something profound. Change is the only constant, but transformation is a choice. You can drift through life, letting circumstances shape you, or you can take the hammer and chisel and sculpt yourself into something extraordinary. The difference between these two paths determines everything. This isn't about becoming someone else. This is about becoming the truest, most powerful version of yourself. The version that's been buried under years of conditioning, other people's expectations, and your own limiting beliefs. That person is still there, waiting for you to clear the debris and let them breathe. Your transformation starts with a single decision, the decision to no longer accept mediocrity, not from the world around you, and especially not from yourself. It's the decision to wake up each day and wage war against the comfortable, familiar patterns that have kept you stuck. Every person who has ever achieved something remarkable went through this process. They became unrecognizable to the people who knew them before, not because they became arrogant or distant, but because they evolved into a version of themselves that no longer fit into the old boxes. The path ahead won't be easy. Transformation never is. But here's what I promise you, it will be worth it. Every struggle, every setback, every moment when you want to quit and return to who you were, those moments are building something inside you that cannot be shaken. So take a breath, feel the weight of this moment. This is where your story changes. This is where you stop being a passenger in your own life and grab the wheel with both hands. The 5 ways I'm about to share with you aren't just concepts. They're tools for complete reconstruction. They're the blueprint for becoming someone you barely recognize when you look in the mirror 6 months from now. Before we dive in, hit that like button, drop a comment below, share this with someone who needs to hear it. Subscribe to this channel because we're building something powerful here together. And whatever you do, don't skip any part of this video. Type in the comments right now, "I choose transformation." Now let's begin. Number 1. Master the art of controlled silence. Silence isn't empty. It's full of answers that noise drowns out every single day. Epictetus taught us, "We have 2 ears and 1 mouth so that we can listen twice as much as we speak." But this wisdom goes deeper than politeness. It cuts to the core of personal power. The person who controls their words controls their world. Think about the version of you that reacts instantly, the one who speaks without thinking, who defends every criticism, who argues every point, who needs to be heard in every conversation. That version of you is predictable. That version is controllable. That version gives away power with every unnecessary word. Becoming unrecognizable starts with learning when to close your mouth and open your mind. This isn't about becoming passive or weak. This is about developing a strength so profound that people feel it without you saying a word. It's about building an inner fortress where your thoughts mature before they become speech. When someone criticizes you, the old you feels that instant spike of defensiveness. The transformed you pauses, breathes, considers whether this criticism holds truth or whether it's just noise from someone fighting their own battles. You don't react, you respond, and sometimes you don't respond at all. Watch what happens when you stop explaining yourself to people who are committed to misunderstanding you. Watch what happens when you stop participating in pointless arguments. Watch what happens when you let your actions speak louder than your words ever could. Controlled silence creates space for observation. While everyone else is talking, you're learning. You're watching patterns. You're understanding motivations. You're seeing the game while others are still trying to figure out the rules. This awareness becomes your advantage. But here's the deeper truth. Silence also protects your energy. Every time you engage with negativity, every time you defend yourself to people who don't matter, every time you speak when silence would serve you better, you drain your power. You give pieces of yourself away to people who don't deserve them. The Stoics practiced this ruthlessly. They understood that words have weight, and careless speech is like bleeding energy into the void. They chose their words the way a sculptor chooses where to strike stone, with intention, precision, and purpose. Start practicing this today. When someone tries to provoke you, stay silent. When gossip swirls around you, stay silent. When your ego screams to be validated, stay silent. Feel the discomfort of not being heard. Sit with it. Let it transform into strength. This doesn't mean you become a doormat. It means you become selective. You speak when your words can build something, teach something, or heal something. You stay silent when words would only feed chaos, drama, or your own ego. Notice how people react to your silence. Some will be uncomfortable. They're used to provoking reactions from you. When you don't give them that satisfaction, they lose their power over you. Others will respect you more. They'll sense that you've evolved beyond the need for constant validation. Your silence also creates mystery. People can't figure you out as easily. You become unpredictable, and unpredictability is power. When people can't anticipate your every move, when they can't manipulate you with the same old tactics, you've already won. But the most profound benefit of controlled silence is what it does inside you. In the quiet, you hear your own thoughts clearly. You start to distinguish between your authentic voice and the voices of conditioning, fear, and other people's expectations. You discover who you really are beneath all the noise. This practice will make you unrecognizable. The person who once needed to have the last word becomes someone who's comfortable letting others be wrong. The person who once craved constant validation becomes someone who's secure in their own truth, regardless of who acknowledges it. Start small. Choose one situation today where you would normally speak and stay silent instead. Feel the power in that restraint. Feel how it centers you. Feel how it keeps your energy intact. Then build from there. Day by day, conversation by conversation, you're rewiring your relationship with words. Your words should be like rare gems, not scattered pebbles. When you do speak, people should lean in because they know you don't waste breath on nonsense. They know that when you open your mouth, what comes out matters. This is the first pillar of transformation. Master your silence, and you master yourself. Master yourself, and you become someone that even you don't fully recognize. Someone stronger, someone wiser, someone who moves through the world with a quiet confidence that needs no announcement. I want you to drop this affirmation in the comments. My silence is my strength. Number 2, rebuild your daily rituals from zero. Your life is nothing more than the sum of your daily rituals. Change the rituals, change everything. Seneca wrote, "Every night before going to sleep, we must ask ourselves, what weakness did I overcome today? What virtue did I acquire?" He understood that transformation isn't found in grand gestures. It's forged in the small, deliberate actions you repeat when nobody's watching. Look at your morning. Really look at it. Do you grab your phone before your feet touch the floor? Do you scroll through other people's lives before you've even acknowledged your own? Do you rush through your morning in a fog of half-consciousness, already behind before the day begins? That's not a ritual. That's surrender. The person you're becoming doesn't live like that. The unrecognizable version of you owns the morning instead of letting the morning own them. They understand that how you start your day sets the frequency for everything that follows. Tear down your old routines. Every single one that doesn't serve your evolution needs to go. This isn't about adding more to your plate. This is about stripping away the habits that keep you mediocre and replacing them with rituals that build excellence. Start with your first waking moment. Before anything else, take 3 deep breaths. Feel your body. Acknowledge that you've been given another day. This simple act plants your feet in the present moment instead of letting your mind race toward anxiety and obligation. Then move. Your body wasn't designed to go from horizontal to sitting at a screen. Walk, stretch, do push-ups. Anything that reminds your system that you're alive and capable. The Stoics exercised not for vanity, but for discipline. Physical strength builds mental strength. They knew this thousands of years ago, yet we forget it every time we hit the snooze button. Next comes the mind. Feed it something worthy. Read philosophy. Study wisdom. Consume content that elevates you instead of content that numbs you. 10 pages of truth before 10 minutes of social media. This shift alone will make you unrecognizable within months. But here's where most people fail. They try to change everything at once. They build elaborate morning routines that require 2 hours and perfect conditions. Then life happens, they miss a day, and the whole structure collapses. Don't do that. Start with one ritual. Master it. Make it so automatic that skipping it feels wrong. Then add another. Build your transformation brick by brick, ritual by ritual. This is how lasting change happens. Your evening rituals matter just as much. The old you probably collapses into bed after mindlessly scrolling until your eyes burn. The transformed you reviews the day. You ask Seneca's question, what weakness did I overcome? What virtue did I acquire? You don't judge yourself harshly. You observe honestly. Write it down. 3 sentences. What went well? What didn't? What you'll adjust tomorrow. This practice creates self-awareness that most people never develop. You stop repeating the same mistakes because you're actually paying attention to patterns. Then prepare for tomorrow. Lay out your clothes. Know your first task. Eliminate decision fatigue before it starts. Every decision you can make the night before is energy you'll have available when it matters. Sleep becomes a ritual too. Not something that happens to you, but something you intentionally create. Same time every night. Room dark and cool. Phone in another room. You're not trying to maximize productivity by sleeping less. You're honoring the biological truth that rest is where growth happens. These rituals might sound simple. They are. That's the point. Complexity fails. Simplicity sustained over time creates miracles. The person who does the basics every single day without fail will always surpass the person who does something spectacular once and quits. Your rituals become your identity. You don't have to decide each day whether to exercise, read, or review your progress. You just do it because that's who you are now. The decision was made once, and now you simply execute. People around you will notice. They won't understand it at first. They'll see you declining late-night hangouts because you protect your sleep. They'll see you reading while they scroll. They'll see you consistent while they're erratic. Some will mock you. Let them. Their mockery is proof that you're changing in ways that make them uncomfortable with their own stagnation. Months from now, when they ask what changed about you, you won't be able to point to one dramatic moment. You'll point to these rituals, these small, unglamorous daily actions that nobody celebrates, but everyone eventually notices the results of. Rebuild your rituals. Own your mornings and evenings. Everything in between will start falling into place. This is how you become someone you don't recognize. Not through motivation that fades, but through structure that sustains. Number 3. Cut dead weight without guilt. You cannot become who you're meant to be while carrying people who want you to stay who you were. Marcus Aurelius observed, "Be tolerant with others and strict with yourself." But even the emperor knew that tolerance has limits. There comes a moment when you must choose between loyalty to others and loyalty to your own evolution. That choice defines everything. Look at the 5 people you spend the most time with. Really look at them. Are they pushing you forward or holding you back? Are they celebrating your growth or subtly sabotaging it? Are they evolving alongside you or anchoring you to a version of yourself you're trying to leave behind? This truth hurts because we've been taught that cutting people off is cruel. We've been conditioned to believe that real friendship means staying no matter what. But that's a lie that keeps you small. Real love, including self-love, sometimes means walking away from people who refuse to grow. The old you felt guilty about this. You made excuses for people who drained your energy. You tolerated disrespect because you didn't want to seem cold. You stayed in friendships that died years ago because you feared being alone. That version of you was afraid of what cutting ties would mean. The transformed you understands what staying would cost. Not everyone deserves access to you. Not everyone has earned the right to your time, energy, or presence. Some people knew you in a season that's over. They served a purpose then. They don't serve one now. And that's okay. You don't owe anyone a lifetime relationship just because you shared history. Watch how certain people react to your transformation. The real ones will cheer for you. They'll ask questions. They'll want to understand. They'll be inspired by your changes, even if they're not ready to make their own. Those people stay. But others will feel threatened. Your growth mirrors their stagnation. Your discipline highlights their excuses. Your new standards make them uncomfortable because they're not willing to raise their own. They'll try to pull you back down. Sometimes with jokes, sometimes with criticism disguised as concern, sometimes with outright sabotage. These are the ones you cut, not with drama, not with long explanations, not with burning bridges publicly. You simply create distance. You become less available. You stop sharing your goals and dreams with people who don't have the capacity to support them. You fade from spaces that no longer serve your highest self. This process will feel lonely at first. When you cut dead weight, you create empty space. That space feels uncomfortable. You'll be tempted to fill it quickly with new people or to run back to old relationships just to avoid the silence. Don't do that. Sit with the emptiness. Let it teach you about yourself. The Stoics practiced voluntary discomfort to build resilience. Temporary loneliness is a form of this practice. It strengthens you. It shows you that you can stand alone if necessary. It proves that your worth isn't determined by how many people surround you, but by the quality of person you're becoming. Here's what nobody tells you. The right people will appear once you've made space for them. When you stop tolerating mediocrity in your relationships, you start attracting excellence. When you value your own time, you meet others who value theirs. When you commit to growth, you find your tribe of fellow growers. But you have to make the space first. You have to be willing to walk through a season of fewer connections to arrive at a life of better ones. Most people aren't willing to do this. They'd rather have shallow connections with many than deep connections with few. That's why they stay stuck. Your circle should be small and fierce. People who tell you the truth even when it stings. People who hold you accountable when you slip. People who celebrate your wins without jealousy. People who understand that real support sometimes means letting you struggle instead of enabling your weakness. Cutting dead weight also means examining the environments you're in, that job that drains your soul, that social group that celebrates things you're trying to move beyond, that online community that feeds your worst impulses instead of your best potential. All of it. Evaluate ruthlessly. Cut without hesitation. Your time on this earth is limited. Every moment you spend with people who diminish you is a moment stolen from your transformation. Every environment that pulls you backward is a day lost that you'll never recover. The cost of staying is always higher than the discomfort of leaving. This doesn't make you a bad person. It makes you a person with standards. It makes you someone who understands that protecting your energy isn't selfish. It's survival. It makes you unrecognizable to people who knew you as someone who accepted scraps and called it loyalty. Walk away from what dims your light. Do it with grace but without guilt. The right people will understand. The wrong ones will prove exactly why you needed to leave. Trust the process. Trust yourself. Trust that on the other side of this pruning is a life more aligned with who you're becoming. Number 4, embrace discomfort as your new normal. Comfort is where dreams go to die. Discomfort is where you're reborn. The Stoic philosopher Musonius Rufus said, "Just as the farmer benefits his land by turning over the soil, we benefit from hardship." He wasn't speaking metaphorically. He meant that difficulty literally breaks you open so something stronger can grow. Most people spend their entire lives running from this truth. You're not most people anymore. Your old self avoided hard conversations, stayed in situations that felt safe even when they were suffocating, chose the familiar path every single time because the unknown felt too risky. That version of you believed comfort was the goal. That version was wrong. Comfort keeps you soft. It keeps you predictable. It keeps you exactly where you are right now. If where you are right now was enough, you wouldn't be here seeking transformation. You know deep down that the life you want exists on the other side of the discomfort you've been avoiding. Becoming unrecognizable demands that you flip the script entirely. Stop running from discomfort. Start running toward it. Seek it out deliberately. Make it your training ground. This single shift in perspective will change everything. Start with your body. Do the workout that scares you. Take the cold shower that makes your breath catch. Fast when your body begs for food. Push past the point where your muscles burn and your mind screams to stop. Not because you're punishing yourself, but because you're teaching yourself that discomfort is temporary and you're stronger than the voice that wants to quit. Physical discomfort builds mental toughness. Every time you push through when you want to stop, you're rewiring your brain. You're creating new pathways that say, "I can handle hard things." This transfers to every area of your life. The person who can endure a difficult workout can endure a difficult conversation. The person who can embrace physical pain can face emotional pain without crumbling. Move to your mind. Read books that challenge your beliefs. Study subjects that feel beyond your grasp. Sit in silence when your thoughts get loud and uncomfortable. Face the parts of yourself you've been avoiding. This mental discomfort is growth in real time. Your brain is literally forming new connections when you struggle with difficult concepts. Then, tackle your emotions. Feel your feelings instead of numbing them. Sit with sadness without reaching for distractions. Experience anger without immediately reacting. Let anxiety move through you instead of trying to escape it. The discomfort of feeling is what makes you human. Avoiding it makes you robotic, reactive, and ultimately weak. The Stoics practiced premeditatio malorum, the premeditation of evils. They deliberately imagined worst-case scenarios, not to torture themselves, but to build resilience. They knew that rehearsing hardship in the mind prepares you for hardship in reality. When bad things happen, and they will, you're not shocked. You're prepared. Apply this today. Think about what you're avoiding, that career change you know you need to make, that relationship you need to exit or repair, that truth you need to speak, that fear you need to face. The discomfort of thinking about it is nothing compared to the pain of staying stuck. Move toward it. Here's what happens when you embrace discomfort. You expand. Your capacity grows. Things that terrified you last month become manageable today. Challenges that would have broken the old you become opportunities for the new you. You literally become a different person with a different threshold for what you can handle. People will notice this shift. They'll see you taking risks they wouldn't take. They'll watch you stay calm in situations that would panic them. They'll wonder how you handle pressure without breaking. The answer is simple. You've been training in discomfort while they've been hiding in comfort. But there's a balance here. Embracing discomfort doesn't mean being reckless or stupid. It means being strategic. Choose discomfort that serves your growth, not discomfort that destroys you. There's a difference between pushing your limits and ignoring your limits. Learn to know the difference. Every single day, do one thing that makes you uncomfortable. Have the hard conversation. Make the scary phone call. Post the content you're nervous to share. Approach the person who intimidates you. Speak up when staying quiet would be easier. Each small act of courage compounds. 6 months of daily discomfort creates a person unrecognizable from who you are today. Your comfort zone is a prison disguised as safety. The walls are invisible but real. Every time you choose comfort over growth, those walls get thicker. Every time you choose discomfort over ease, those walls crack a little more. Eventually they crumble completely, and you discover there was never anything to fear in the first place. Stop waiting for the day when things get easier. They won't. You just get stronger. You get more capable. You get more comfortable being uncomfortable. That's the whole point. That's the transformation. Prove you're in this. Comment below. I choose discomfort. Number 5. Rewrite your internal narrative. The story you tell yourself about yourself becomes your reality. Change the story. Change your life. Epictetus taught, it's not what happens to you, but how you react to it that matters. But even deeper than reaction is interpretation. The meaning you assign to events shapes everything. The narrative running in your head right now is either building you up or tearing you down. There's no neutral ground. Listen to the voice in your head for one full day. Really listen. Notice how it speaks to you. Notice the words it uses. Notice the tone. Is it encouraging or critical? Is it empowering or limiting? Is it the voice of someone who believes in you or someone who's constantly finding evidence of why you're not enough? For most people, that voice is brutal. It replays every failure. It magnifies every flaw. It whispers that you're not smart enough, strong enough, worthy enough. It tells you stories about why things won't work out, why people don't like you, why you should just accept limitation and stop trying. That voice has been running the same script for years, maybe decades. The old you believed that voice was telling the truth. You thought those thoughts were facts. You accepted the narrative without question because it came from inside your own mind. But here's what changes everything. That voice isn't you. It's conditioning. It's past wounds speaking. It's fear disguised as reason. And you can rewrite every single word. Your internal narrative was written by experiences you've had, people who hurt you, moments when you failed, and a culture that profits from your insecurity. None of that has to define you anymore. You hold the pen now. You get to write a new story starting today. Begin by catching the negative narrative in real time. The moment you notice yourself thinking, "I always mess things up," or "nothing ever works for me," or "I'm not the kind of person who succeeds at this," stop. Pause. Recognize that thought for what it is, a story, not a fact. Then rewrite it immediately. I've made mistakes, and I'm learning from them. Some things haven't worked yet, and I'm adjusting my approach. I'm becoming the kind of person who succeeds at this. Feel the difference. Same situation, completely different meaning. Different meaning creates different emotions. Different emotions drive different actions. Different actions create different results. The Stoics called this practice turning obstacles upside down. Marcus Aurelius wrote, "The impediment to action advances action. What stands in the way becomes the way." He was teaching narrative rewriting at the highest level. Every obstacle can be seen as a dead end or as training. Every setback can be seen as failure or as feedback. The facts don't change. Your interpretation changes everything. This isn't about lying to yourself or pretending problems don't exist. It's about refusing to catastrophize. It's about finding empowering meaning instead of disempowering meaning. When you lose a job, you can tell yourself you're a failure, or you can tell yourself you're being redirected towards something better. Both are interpretations. Only one serves your transformation. Start narrating your life like you're the hero of your own story, because you are. Heroes face challenges. They encounter setbacks. They experience doubt and fear, but they keep moving forward. They adapt. They overcome. When you frame your life this way, obstacles become plot points in your eventual triumph instead of evidence of your inadequacy. Pay attention to how you speak about yourself to others too. Stop the self-deprecating jokes. Stop minimizing your accomplishments. Stop narrating your life from a place of victimhood or helplessness. The words you speak out loud reinforce the internal narrative. When you constantly talk about how tired you are, how broke you are, how unlucky you are, you're programming yourself for more of the same. Instead, speak about yourself the way you want to become. Talk about your goals like they're inevitable. Discuss your progress with confidence. Share your struggles in a way that highlights your resilience, not your weakness. This isn't arrogance. This is intentional self-creation through language. Your brain believes what you tell it repeatedly. If you tell it you're lazy, it will find evidence to support that. If you tell it you're disciplined, it will find evidence for that instead. You're essentially training your mind to look for proof of the narrative you choose. Choose the narrative that empowers you. Watch what happens over time. The person who consistently tells themselves empowering stories starts to embody those stories. They move differently. They make different choices. They show up with different energy. The narrative becomes the blueprint, and their actions build the reality to match it. This is how you become unrecognizable at the deepest level, not just changing what you do, but changing how you think about what you do. Not just shifting behaviors, but shifting the core beliefs that drive those behaviors. When you control your narrative, you control your destiny. Make it real. Type this affirmation: I write my own story. Transformation isn't a destination, It's a direction you choose every single day. You now hold 5 keys to becoming unrecognizable. Master your silence, and you master your power. Rebuild your rituals, and you rebuild your life. Cut dead weight, and you create space for what matters. Embrace discomfort, and you expand your capacity. Rewrite your narrative, and you rewrite your future. But here's the truth that matters most. Knowledge without action is just entertainment. You can watch 1,000 videos, read 1,000 books, and listen to 1,000 speeches. None of it means anything if you don't apply it. The gap between knowing and doing is where most people die with their potential still inside them. Don't be that person. Don't let this be another video you forget by tomorrow. Take one principle from what you've heard today, just one. Apply it right now. Not later, not when you feel ready, now. Send that message you've been avoiding. Delete that contact that drains you. Do 20 push-ups. Write down your new narrative. Something, anything. Take action while the fire is still burning. 6 months from now, you'll either be someone completely different or exactly the same. That choice isn't made 6 months from now. It's made right now, in this moment. The person you're becoming is waiting for you to close the gap between who you are and who you're capable of being. You deserve to become unrecognizable to your old self. You deserve to look in the mirror and see someone you're proud of. Someone who kept their promises to themselves. Someone who chose growth over comfort. Someone who became everything they said they would become. Now go make it happen. Like this video. Drop a comment with your affirmation. Share this with someone who needs it. Subscribe to this channel because we're just getting started. Your transformation starts now. Seal your commitment. Comment, I am unrecognizable.